Now at 6, area emergency crews responded dozens of calls during yesterday's flooding, and now more rain is on the way. Plus, McDonald County High School celebrates some standout seniors headed into military service. And months of hard work comes together as recreation students prepare for weekend fun at Lincoln Center.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
As more rain comes in the wake of yesterday's flooding, authorities want 4-staters to be mindful for the potential of more dangerous conditions. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. Authorities stress a familiar warning: turn around, don't drown. As KOAM's Melissa Alexis explains, authorities have already had their hands full handling emergencies this week.
Caught off guard. We knew that we were supposed to have pretty good rain.
Taylor Cherney, the fire chief at the Pittsburgh Fire Department, says yesterday's rain seemed to come on suddenly.
Didn't realize that it was going to be exactly what it was and come as fast as it did with as much rain as it was.
He says the rain started early Tuesday morning on his commute to work.
It was just torrential rain with standing water on streets that we hadn't seen standing water for a long time.
The Pittsburgh Police Department responded to 22 calls, and the Crawford County Sheriff's Office assisted with another 11 calls.
The biggest call volume yesterday was stalled out cars that had got caught in flash floods or had driven into deep water, possibly not realizing that it was as deep as it was.
Some other calls that Pittsburgh and Crawford County emergency response crews responded to include disabled or stranded vehicles in the floodwaters, accidents, a tree falling on a house, and animal welfare checks.
With all the water in the streets and just the heavy rain, the winds actually played a big part, and we did have a large elm tree that came down, spanned between a couple houses, pulled down some power lines.
And something the fire chief wants to remind the public of to promote safety.
Be aware, if you're leaving for work, leave a little bit early in case you have to detour. You don't want to drive through the deep water, you don't want to drive through flowing water. Turn around and find another route. And as always, be on the lookout for emergency vehicles.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Pittsburgh and Crawford County emergency response crews received more than 30 calls just between 7:30 a.m. and 10 a.m. yesterday. As we said, more rain is coming. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, we got more rain for us today. So again, just over the past 24 hours, most of us at least an inch, but anywhere from 1 to 3, 1 to 4 inches of rain over the past 24 hours. We still have flood watch in effect, the darker green, as we go through the overnight hours tonight, where you see the brighter greens. This is showing us flood warnings. Of course, we've had rising creeks and streams. Heaviest rain is pretty much out of here. Still have a few showers in our eastern counties. Besides that, we're looking much better as we go through the evening hours. Now, we are going to have some hit and miss little guys as we go through the evening. We'll have a few dying thunderstorms try to push in late tonight into tomorrow morning, but sunshine's going to return at least, which is great on Thursday. But still at the same time, we're going to get some hit and miss storms. We're going to be talking more about that here in just a bit.
Catching a few. Liberty Utilities moves closer to hosting town hall meetings for customers in Missouri. The announcement comes after the Missouri Public Service Commission voted 5-0 to launch an investigation into customer services and billing practices of Liberty Utilities. The investigation covers all Liberty Utility companies operating in Missouri. While the energy provider continues to iron out the details, upcoming plans will include a series of town hall meetings open to the public. That means you. As of right now, these meetings will tentatively take place from June 9th through the 13th. Liberty plans to announce the specific dates, times, and locations once they've been finalized. Some standout students at McDonald County High School signed to take their skills to the next level today, but not for sports. The school held a ceremony honoring 10 seniors who will move on to military service following graduation. Students and staff joined military members and military representatives as the seniors signed their official commitments to serve in either the Marine Corps or Missouri National Guard.
I'll be starstruck. Everything's going to be like a whole new world for me, growing up a lot. I just look at the people that are my models in my life. I just can't believe I get to be one of them, Yeah, I hope someone looks at me as their model, but I just can't believe I'm be there.
Members of the public also attended that ceremony. It was another day of hard work to prep for upcoming fun in Pittsburgh. Pitt State recreation students are putting the wrap on projects at the Lincoln Center, preparing for OK Kids Day on Saturday. They've made birdhouses and much more over the last few months.
We spend all semester long on OK Kids Day. They design the shirts, they plan the activities. We see them about every 2 weeks. And then also within this class, their instructor goes out to the schools and they work with the kids in the schools.
OK Kids Day is Saturday at Lakeside Park with several activities starting bright and early. It's free for all ages. You can find more information on our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. With 1,500 campers arriving soon, storm-ravaged Camp Barnabas races against time for repairs. That story is coming up. And communities around Berry County, Missouri are dealing with a mess from the storms. Camp Barnabas, a summer camp for those with disabilities, saw widespread damage from downed power lines to entire trees going into cabins. With staff and an estimated 1,500 campers expected in just a matter of weeks now, the camp's team knew they needed help. A call for help on social media prompted dozens of volunteers to come out.
A little overwhelming, but the outpouring of the community and people from all across the country who have called, they're praying, they're showing up with their chainsaws has been amazing. And although I say we have 2 weeks to do it, I believe we're going to get it done. So,
camp staff say they've had roughly 100 volunteers for their first day of cleanup alone, and they say there's enough work for all of them. Remnants of storm-damaged trees are scattered throughout lawns in a number of communities. Tree service in Joplin say they're getting double the usual number of calls. As KOAM's Lonnie Walton reports, local tree services are asking for patience.
I spoke to 2 tree services who says they are really busy trying to get things back in order, but they said all they need right now is a little time.
They're starting from about Miami, Oklahoma, all the way up to Springfield.
Brandon Bozak is the owner of Swartz Tree Service in Joplin. He says they're getting a lot of calls.
We got guys going right now from about 7 o'clock this morning, and we won't be done probably till around 8:30 tonight.
And he's not the only one. Anthony Brozak from Pacific Tree Services in Joplin says he's been busy also. He says some calls can take hours.
It depends. We've had some pretty big ones that took about all day. You know, sometimes we got to go rig from one tree to another and have it holding up pressure.
And both experts say another problem is dealing with insurance companies.
Try to schedule it out, but then you're like, wait, we can't do nothing until we see what the insurance is going to cover, so our customers aren't out as much money out of pocket.
Trees just fell in the yard and don't cause damage to their property. A lot of insurances, if you don't have the right insurance, they're not going to cover it.
And although you can't prevent every tree from falling, experts tell me there are some things you can do to reduce the risk.
Get your trees cleaned up before storm season, you know, that helps save your trees from falling down too.
Make sure you try to trim a tree and you thin out the middles of a lot of trees and stuff like that, just to allow the wind to get through and allow the wind to go around, so that way your tree's not shaking as bad.
Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Swartz says although working with insurance companies can be a challenge, some storm damages could be close to $10,000 for some property owners. A little bit later, 2 Trojans signed to take their skills to the next level. John Dales has their stories coming up in sports.
And of course, we are still tracking some additional rain chances. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be another wet one for us today. Rounds of showers and thunderstorms last night, a break this morning, another batch during the afternoon. Thankfully for us, all the severe weather has been just south and east. You can see Arkansas lighting up with tornado watches, severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warning just east of Springfield up towards St. Louis. We don't have to deal with that tonight, which is good. We need a break. Heaviest rain is now pushing over towards Springfield still. You can see a couple little showers in our far eastern counties, but we get a little bit of a break. We are going to have a few hit and miss little guys this evening, but this storm system, kind of the area of low pressure, is working right through at least one of the areas of low pressure, and the winds have picked up a little bit. Then we have an upper level wave back here and a secondary wave, so that's why we still have some rain chances in the forecast as we go through about the next 36 hours. Not as widespread, not as heavy, but you can see these kind of popping up midday tomorrow, and then again tomorrow night as we head into Friday evening, or Friday morning, sorry. So let's go through time. Let's take a look at it. Here's about midnight for us tonight. Again, spotty shower or thunderstorm kind of dying as they work in. Look at our temperatures, upper 50s to near 60. We do get some sun tomorrow, which is great. We should go into the mid 70s, but a hit or miss isolated thunderstorm. Good chunk of you are going to stay dry tomorrow. However, tomorrow night after midnight, batch of showers and thunderstorms work in. South of I-44 again, some could be a little beefier, so a little loud. So we'll keep our eyes on that. So we're going to start Friday, scattered showers. Then we go back to partly sunny skies, a pretty good day. But late Friday, a few random isolated thunderstorms will work through. But it's looking a lot better than what we have seen. So kind of hard to tell in rainfall amounts with hit-miss storms. But with the batch tomorrow night, I think most of us 1/10, quarter of an inch, maybe a half an inch in spots. But look how much rain we've seen. So today over an inch. Look at the month, almost 10 inches, one of our wettest Aprils on record, which is kind of crazy. Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex still socked in with the clouds, but the road's starting to dry out just a bit. The winds have picked up and they will be kind of strong through the evening hours, but then die later on tonight. We'll drop back near 60. We could get a little bit of patchy fog with the moisture on the ground by morning. 70 by noon. High temp, 76 degrees. Let's go down the road. So here's our wave now. Here's our little wave as we go into Thursday night and Friday. But I want you to notice this. As we get into the weekend, look at this. Big dome of high pressure. That means good weather for you. Then it gets interesting. You want to shut severe weather season down fast, get one of these. It blocks up the pattern. It will keep this area of low pressure to the west, meaning keeps our thunderstorms to the west. If this comes out weaker, so we're looking at next Tuesday, then these thunderstorms will drive in. So we want to watch this as we get into next week. But if the pattern can block up, we don't have to worry about severe weather for about almost 2 weeks. So, which would be great in the month of May, but we'll see what happens. 76 tomorrow, 70 on Friday. Weekend looks pretty good.
Well, watch out for that big giant blue H in the sky.
Yeah, there you
Sticks
go.
around. Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, Pitt State Track and Field previews its trip to the MIAA Championship this weekend. And several student athletes in southeast Kansas hold signing ceremonies, including 2 at Girard. That's up next in sports.
This weekend, Pittsburgh State Track and Field competes at the 2025 MIAA Outdoor Championships held at Emporia State. Now, the PSU men and women both enter as the #1 ranked team, not only in the conference, but the entire country.
Our upperclassmen need to show the underclassmen what being in Pitt State Grill is all about and what we need to do and how we prepare for the conference championship and how we compete at a high level. So all of our upperclassmen need to step up and do their job and show the younger ones what it means at the MIAA Conference Championship, what it means to compete as a Pitt State Gorilla, and what it means as program. So that's who we really rely on, is the upperclassmen.
And as we get towards the end of the school year, more and more of our local student athletes finalize their plans for the future. Today, several high school seniors around southeast Kansas hold signing ceremonies. We start at Columbus High School, where Emily Britt signs with Ottawa University, continuing her wrestling career. She had an incredible senior season for the Titans. Britt finished with a 35-8 record and placed 3rd at the Class 3A state finals. She plans to study elementary education in hopes of becoming a teacher.
It feels really good. I think my senior year I really jumped into a different person physically and mentally, and I've grown so much over the 4 years, so I'm really glad to grow even more through my college life.
And 2 athletes from Girard High School also signed to play their sport at the college level. Kaylin McAtee signs with Colby Community College for wrestling. In her senior year, she won the first individual state championship in school history. And Isabel Shook signs as well. She's joining the rodeo team at Fort Scott Community College.
Wrestling is what really helped me grow as a person, along with the people and the struggles that I've faced while wrestling and the hardships that have come along and the people I've met. My favorite thing about wrestling is the relationships I built within and out of the state with either coaches, teammates from other schools, or friends from other states.
I'm excited to get to pursue what I want to pursue and excited to meet new people, make new friends, go move up in the rodeo world, travel with them, everything.
And at Labette County High School, Catherine Wilson signs with one of our local MIAA schools. She's headed to Missouri Southern to continue her dance career with the Lions.
I wanted to sign with MSSU mainly because I feel like I could improve the dance team, and I feel like I'd be a great addition. Just overall technique. I feel like I'm a good choreographer, and I could definitely add to that aspect. And I have some pretty good talents that I'd like to include in most of my dances.
And in Major League Baseball, the Cardinals shut out the Reds 6-0 this afternoon. Mason Wynn hits 2 home runs in a winning effort. This is the first game of a doubleheader after yesterday's contest was rained out. Game 2 is underway right now. Back to Pitt State Track and Field. You know, it's not often that you got a team where you're going into the conference tournament, men and women, both #1 in the country, but that is the program that Kyle Rutledge has built at Pitt State.
Let's hope they can emerge from the tournament in the same position.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 tonight. Laura Ashley's Law is headed to the governor's desk. How this could change felony offenses in the Sooner State. Plus, Carl Junction plays host to a severe weather town hall. And we're going to preview the summer's biggest movies, potentially anyway. Those stories and a lot more coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We all know eggs are really precious these days, but how far would you go to keep one from cracking? Well, students at St. Mary's Preschool in Joplin put their eggs to the test this morning during the annual Humpty Dumpty Day. Those are eggs in those boxes in various containers. Each student designed their own egg protection plan, from parachutes and padding to various colorful contraptions, all in hopes of preventing, well, not so much a great fall, but certainly the break at the end. The Joplin Fire Department helped out by raising the eggs high into the air and then a fire engine ladder and then dropping them to the ground below.
I hope that it offers them an opportunity to really problem solve, trying to get their egg to last through a big drop like this, but also the opportunity to partner with their parents and coming up with a really neat and cool project, but also a really great memory too.
Yeah, you know what? Some eggs did survive. Others, well, they got scrambled. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put those back together. But the students walked away with a little hands-on fun in science, creativity, and problem solving. Very often gravity wins in that encounter, but it's fun to see how it goes.
I would enjoy that as a parent trying to do that.
Yeah, it's been going on for generations at various schools. The weather.
Yeah, we still have hit-miss showers tomorrow. Most of the day is going to be dry. Thunderstorms again tomorrow night.
That's what you're going to see falling from the sky. Final sports notes.
The Royals are up 2-0 on the Rays early in that game. We're going to have more on both of them and the Cardinals tonight at 9 and 10.
Look forward to that. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.